Hello, everyone. It is Carl and Jose. You are watching Talking Ball. Very nice to have you here, everybody. Jose, my friend, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's a nice, easy day at work today. Um,
Can't beat it.
finished a while ago because we've come on at 5:30 today, so finished a while ago. Um, but yeah, it's nice. It's nice when it's not hectic and it's an easy day at work. Um, long may it continue. long may
Hope
it continue.
everybody, hope everybody watching has had an easy day at work. Also, good to have you. Since we got 6 people watching right now, big up to all 6 of you
Eight,
guys.
eight. I've
We've
got
even
8. So it's got 8 people.
8. Hey, we've got some people in the chat too. We've got the ever-present Adrian Sroka saying, "Good afternoon. Good afternoon to yourself, my friend." Bobby K, who I've heard is driving. Be careful. Do not message and drive, Bobby K. He says, good afternoon. Top Spurs, best mod this side of the Mississippi River, says, big up, call Jose and all. Jim says, hey, Colin and Jose, just eating me dinner, but have you on? Well, lovely. What are you having for dinner? Let us know.
Hope you enjoy your dinner. Bon appetit, as they say, Jim.
Hope it's lovely. And Jim saying, hey to everybody in the chat. Kate is saying, yes, talking ball is back, baby. Yes, we took a little extended break. Just kind of recharge our batteries. Yeah, I think you guys will love it. I think it was good for everybody. I think. Nick Brown says, whoop, whoop, come on, you Spurs. And then we got everybody else just saying, hey, we got Nita in the chat. Nita R, what is up, Nita? Yeah, and other than that, it's just people showing love. Love it. Adrian's asking about Jim's dinner too. I would also like to know, Jim, so let us know. One armed as you may be. So Jose, oh, that keeps happening. Stay up there. Okay, anyway, Jose, we played a match yesterday, and I was slightly worried about it. You weren't worried at all, and it turns out you were correct. I was incorrect, but that's okay. You're much better at guessing results than me.
I'm not. It's going to be the proof's going to be in the pudding, and this week I've had a stinker.
Hey, me too. A lot of people did. But real quick.
No. Look. Well, when we get round to it, I mean, we've got a few people in the chat at the moment that partook on Friday, and we'll do it again on this Friday, and then we'll keep it going, and we'll run the table throughout the season. But there's a few people that were all right. But you and me certainly staked the place out.
Yeah, no,
we are the hosts, so we're allowed to, aren't we?
Exactly. And we've got to keep things, if everybody agrees with each other, then what fun is it? So we've got to come up with like the kind of more wild answers, the little, more out there things. But yeah, so we played a match yesterday, and surprise, we looked good under Ange Ball. Who would have predicted that?
Yeah, I mean, if you're asking me what I thought of the game,
yes.
My personal opinion on the game was I don't think we were at our best. There's room for plenty of improvement on what we did yesterday. But still, even though I didn't think we were our best yesterday, I still think we were in cruise control. I don't think, well, I was going to say, I don't think they looked like scoring, but Vicario pulled off 2 magnificent saves.
He really did.
But in saying that, I think that we were a bit wasteful, and we could have scored more than what we actually did. For me, I think big plus signs for us are some much maligned players. I thought Peter put in a good shift yesterday. So Højbjerg played really well, I thought, yesterday. Richarlison in the first 45 minutes played really, really well for the first 45. Yes. Second half, I think the Devils possessed him again in the second half. But in the first half, he really did put a shift in. I thought Romero looked like a Rolls Royce yesterday. out of all the defence, Romero looked the best out of the 4 defenders yesterday at Rolls-Royce. Although saying that, I don't think Porro played that badly. I thought Sarr was off it yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, I thought Sarr was off it yesterday. He's not as good as what he has been. I thought he was off it yesterday. And Kulusevski, he was up against Anthony Robertson. He's from the US, isn't he? Anthony Robertson.
He is.
Okay. Yes. I rate Anthony Robertson. I think he's a very quick and a very bright left back. However, Kulusevski, on 3 occasions, sold him down the river Mississippi 3 times and said, "What canoe? And do you want to paddle as well?" He sold him 3 times. But then, apart from selling him 3 times, I don't think Kulu. I think Kulu was starved. I didn't think he'd get as much of the ball as what he normally gets. But as I said, at the end of the day, it was a victory. It puts us top again. So we have a period of at least 3 weeks of being top in this division. And now we go on to Friday. I think I won't talk about Friday yet. Let's talk about yesterday's game. Let's keep up with yesterday's game. So carry on. And you have
I was just gonna say I thought we played extremely well. I know that you're right. We could have definitely been better. We created about 9 chances and finished 2 of them. You know, there were very, very many times when we had the box just completely packed with players, maybe too many. You know, it was almost a case of like players getting in each other's way. It seemed like, you know, It didn't seem like there was a lot of communication up front, but we did a really good job, I think, at putting pressure on, at pressuring them. Obviously, I mean, our 2 goals were forced errors from them trying to play out from our press. So, I mean, that's a good thing. That's something that we haven't seen in the past. I also just want to say big up Cherie, who says big up Colin Jose, good win, 3 points and a clean sheet. I'm just asking the owners to back up I almost said Pochettino, to back up the coach Postecoglou, you know, in the transfer window. And
big up Steve D as well, because I don't think we said hello to Steve D when he came in.
Yeah, Steve D. Very good evening to you too, my man.
Also got, let me see, scrolling back down, we've got Chris from Meta Football TV who's come in.
Hey, big up, Chris. Hope you're doing well, my man.
We've also got Nick Brown here.
Boom. He didn't doubt Højbjerg. That's a good thing. That's a
also
good thing.
Got Daniel Lee in the house.
Hey, Dan. Good win yesterday, but still some negatives to take away from it before. Got on to the positives. Vicario's saves were brilliant, but them 2 mistakes he made with his distribution were not good. Yeah. Definitely not. And that's like the first time I think this season that we've really seen him put a foot wrong, playing out from the back. That seemed to be one of his strong suits, you know, all season. I don't know. Do you think Vicario's saves yesterday kind of made up for those 2 little blips that he had with his distribution?
2 Vicario saves were absolutely outstanding.
Talking about the one that was the header that he got down to his left, I think, and blocked. And then I'm trying to think of what the other one was.
He made one in the second night, but right. There was a header from their centre half. I think it was their centre half, made a header, and he dived last minute through a crowd of players. The ball came through. He's dived, and with his left, he reached it with his left, didn't he? Because I thought it was his wrong hand. So he saved it. He went with his left. He went with his left.
Yeah, I thought so too. And he's got a single hand to it. I love those types of saves too.
And then he made a second save as well. Player came in on the right. It's the second half. Players come in on the right, and he's hit it across him, and he dived and made the save. I can't remember. It's Harry Wilson or someone like that. He's made a save in the second half, which I thought was a really good save as well.
We did good. We did good getting Vicario. I know we've said that a lot of times, but that was not a mistake. I think that we got the better keeper than Araya for cheaper. Vicario is the man, and I'm very, very happy to have him on the team. I feel like he's a big part of why we look as good as we do this season.
I mean, yesterday, admittedly, we did have 12 players. So,
what do you mean?
Well, we had
the crowd.
No, the crowd. No, we had 12 players. We had the 11 that Ange picked, and they gave us Calvin Bassey. Because Calvin Bassey gave the ball away twice for led to our goals. So
Yeah,
we actually had 12 players yesterday. If I was going to be tongue in cheek about it, we had 12 players.
I love it. Real quick, it looks like we got 14 people in the house right now. Big up to every single one of you. We'll get your comments up as always. But yeah, just wanted to say big up to everybody and smash that like while you're here. And actually, you don't even have to smash it. Everyone says smash it. You can just click it. That's fine.
I mean, we've got 14 at the moment, so we can come back to this in a minute. I just want to make sure that we cover off last week. So last week on Friday, we asked you all for predictions. Most of the people that did it are in the chat at the moment. We asked you all for predictions. Predict your scores, and if you bring it up, Colin, we can see.
Yeah.
Bring it up. These are the scores that people stated on Friday.
Let me see if I can
hopefully people can see it there.
Yeah, I think they can if you make it full screen. I can see it if I make it full screen here.
So for those that didn't have a go on Friday, we'll do it again this Friday, and we'll keep a running league of it. But the greens highlight a person who got the correct result. The oranges highlight people that got a correct prediction, in the sense that the home team or the away team or the draw they've gone for was actually the result, but not the actual result. So for all the oranges, you score a point, and for all your greens, you score 3, and the whites, you get absolutely nothing at all. So from doing the league, the first table this week looks like
sheet 2.
So
we've got
top of the league. He got 3 correct predictions, 5 predictions correct, and 2 wrong. So he ended up with 14 points. Chris Meta Football is on 12. Ellie's on 12. Jacob's on 12. They did all 3 of them got the same, but the only reason why they're like that is alphabetically. And you've got Kate's on 11. Wayne Bonner is 10. Bobby K 9. Lee Smithy 8. Chris Peters 7. Dry Roasted Peanut and Jim both on 6. And Nita R. Colin, you're on 4. And I prop up at the table. So therefore, Colin and myself, just to show, we haven't fixed it or anything. We are both right down the bottom. We're giving you all a chance, so to speak. But
don't take gambling tips from us. That's what I've come to learn from this.
Not this week, anyway. We aim to improve and give. We gave people a chance this week, but we aim to improve for next week. So on Friday's show, if you log in, I think we're going 4:00 on Friday. So on Friday's show, obviously we play first because we play Friday evening. So on Friday's show, we will do score predictions again, and then they will roll on, and then we'll add to this table. So if more new people play, we'll put them in here, and we'll just keep rolling it along the season. So yeah, so well done everyone that took part, and that's where you are at the moment. So Top Spurs, you are currently ahead.
Todd Spurs, we might need to get you on a segment, and we'll have gambling tips with Todd Spurs, because he knows his stuff. He, she, I should not assume that you are a man.
So at the moment,
Spurs,
you've got Todd Spurs leading the way with Chris, Ellie, and Jacob in European positions, and in the relegation positions, it's Cole and Jose. Yours truly.
Well, yeah, we're going to be yo-yo clubs, so we'll be right back up next season. Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll be back.
Can you go back a page?
Yeah, of course.
All right, let me have a look. So, Kate predicted the Man United result and the Tottenham result. Wayne has predicted the Brentford, Burnley, and the Newcastle Palace. Chris at Meta Football has predicted the Bournemouth Wolves and the Villa West Ham. And then you've got Top Spurs predicted 3 of them. He's gone for he got the Bournemouth Wolves, Man City, Brighton, and the Sheffield United Man United game correct. Jacob got Chelsea Arsenal and Sheffield United Man U. Did he text you about the Tottenham result or not?
Sorry, did who text me about the Tottenham result?
Jacob.
No.
because Jacob was supposed to text you what he was picking, but
he never did.
But when I watched the Irish Hotspur, because they get other channels, we're gonna have to join that. I think where other channels send in results or their predictions for Tottenham. His prediction was 2-1, so that's what I've gone with. That he put in 2-1.
Nice.
Lee Smithy Smith got the Man City Brighton one correct. Bobby K was the one who started off on Saturday morning because he got the Liverpool Everton one right. So Bobby was in the lead straight away. Ellie got the Bournemouth Wolves and was the only person that got Notts Forest Luton correct at 2-2. And Chris Peters got Bournemouth Wolves. Suffice to say that you and me, Colin, didn't get any. Neither did Dry Roasted Peanut. Neither did Jim. And neither did Nita R. So we need to do better next week, us people. But there we go.
That's where we are. We bounce back. We do it again. What is it that they always say in the post-match interviews? We come back stronger next week. We get out there. We do it again. We're just looking forward to next week, right, Jose?
Yes.
We're onwards and upwards.
So well done, everyone that partook. But what we'll do is we will do this, as I said, we'll do this on a weekly basis, and we'll just have a running up-to-date league after the end of it. So if people haven't done it today, we will join us on Friday, and you can have an opportunity of starting then. It's not much to catch up with because the gap's 12 points. 12 points is 4 results. We're in game week 10 on Friday, so there's plenty of the season to go.
100%. But okay, so back to the match, because I thought you weren't very impressed. That gets me. I was really impressed, first half at least.
No, but when I'm saying that, I'm talking about they didn't get out right. I didn't see the fluid football. I didn't think they came out of second gear. I don't think they upped it any.
It's that thing. I've always said that we play to the level of our opponents to a certain degree. And I think since we came out and we were playing Fulham, we have the better players man for man. I think the players kind of knew that. And you're right. Maybe they didn't, put the gas pedal all the way down, so to speak. But still, I was really impressed. And I was really impressed with one guy in particular. And this is going to sound funny. And I didn't think I would ever say this. But hold on, let me find it.
You're going to say Højbjerg, surely.
Well,
Højbjerg.
Højbjerg did a great job. Let me just say, Højbjerg did a great job in switching play from one side to the other. He's got a very accurate long pass on him, better than I thought. I think Højbjerg was good. Yeah, I honestly am. I was really worried about what we would do. Given maybe a Basuma injury or another suspension, but honestly. Højbjerg was fine, and I thought that it might be just that the system suits him better, but he looks better to me than he has in seasons past. So yeah, that's an interesting one, and one that made me happy. But yeah, Richarlison obviously didn't score, didn't get on the score sheet. Had one very, very close chance first half. But yeah. By the way, what type of tea are you drinking there, buddy?
Latte.
Oh, you're awesome. Very good choice.
Latte.
Yum. All right, everybody. Well, Jose's got his latte. Yeah, in the chat too. We're going to talk about Richarlison a bit. What did you guys think of Richarlison? What would you rate him? But I'll start with you, Jose. If you had to give Richarlison a rating, normal 1 to 10 type rating, what would you give the man?
I'd give him a 7 for the first half. And it'd be a 5 for the second half. I thought in the first half, he really, really, really did impress me. In the first half, he put a shift in for the team. He really did. He put a shift in. But in the second half, he was, to me, he was non-existent in the second half. But then I think a lot of the players were non-existent in the second half. So, yeah, for me, first half, I'd give him a 7. Second half, I'd give him a 5. So an overall rating for me then would be 6.5 in it. So
yeah.
Adrian's gone with 6. Jim's gone with 7.
And then Alexander Hilton.
Yeah, he's gone for 6.5 as well. Nick Brown's gone for 6.
Hey, Alex Hilton is here, by the way. Just noticed that. Put this in the chat for you, buddy. Stay.
He's done it already. He's done it already. Did it earlier.
Oh, has he? He did? Dang it. Okay, well.
There you
Anyway.
go. Look. There he's there.
Boom. Boom. Good to have you here, Mr. Hilton. But yeah, I think Richarlison played great. And I think part of his role in the team right now, which I'm sure he's not loving, but is to pull defenders away from Sonny. Teams are going to double up and really man mark Sonny because he's a threat. Give him half a chance, he'll score. You know, that goal he scored, I think, was kind of ridiculous. You know, he was. So I know you're probably not a big basketball fan, but there's what's called like a fadeaway shot, you know, and you're kind of jumping away from the basket when the shot goes off, and you know, and then you score. Obviously, it was kind of like that. He was moving back. I don't know. It was wonderful. I really didn't think he was going to be able to place it that perfectly. With the way that he was moving his body. But I mean, it's Sonny. We shouldn't be surprised. But I guess what I'm saying is I think that Richarlison did a great job in pulling defenders away from Sonny and allowing him some space. You know, if we didn't have a genuine threat on the side like that, because let's be honest, Kulu is a great player, and I'm going to get to him in a second. I was really happy with most of his performance, but he's not exactly a goal threat. And I know that Richarlison this season isn't exactly a goal threat, but I don't think you can deny that he's a bigger goal threat than Kulu, or could you? I mean, it's a good question also. But yeah, I think that I think Richarlison played well. There's got to be something wrong with him. That first shot, you remember the one I'm talking about, right? In the first half where he almost placed it into the keeper's bottom left, and it just barely, you know, went on the other side of the post. Yeah. I don't know. I think that Richarlison, I don't know. I still don't know if he's going to come good. I still don't know if he's ever going to, you know, if he's ever going to score for us. But he definitely has a role that he's playing. He's helping out the squad. I think that, I guess here's a better question. Would he have started if Brennan Johnson was fully fit? That's tough for me.
No, I think he's playing Johnson. Yeah, I think he's whatever they've done on the training pitch, they decided to go with Richie rather than Johnson. I mean, it's difficult to assess. It's difficult to assess because yesterday we were forced to make substitutions yesterday. Now, I've been watching shows today, and I've watched well, in between working, I've been watching shows, and I can't believe the dribble that's coming out from people.
Speak to me. What do you mean?
Okay, at the end of the day, I think people just need to understand, right, that from now till the 31st of December, we have a squad. We can't add to that squad. We can't take away from that squad. That's the squad that we've got. They're the cards and the deck of hands that we're playing with. We cannot pick cards from the pack. We've got a hand of cards, and that's what we've got to play from now to the 31st of December. For that matter, every other team has got a deck of 25 players that they can only select between now and the 31st of December. So you've got what you've got, and that's what they're the pawns that you've got to play with from now to the 31st of December. So I heard people saying, yeah, but there's a drop-off in this and there's a drop-off in that. Look, every team has a drop-off when you bring players on. When you bring players on, I'd say 8 times out of 10, the players that you bring on are non-effective. And 2 times out of 10, a substitute may do something. They might link up, might score a goal for you. They might do something. And I'm talking generally here. So watching it yesterday, we lose. Who did we lose first? A doggy. The doggy came on off. I came off after 55.
That was a strange one. Do you think that was precautionary?
He had an injury, yeah. So the precautionary, they took him off, right? And when they took him off, they brought in Emerson to play at left back to replace him. Then obviously Sar's taken a knock, and when Sar's taken a knock, they brought Skip on. And then in the last 10 minutes of the game, we decided to bring on the Celso, Villiers, Brennan Johnson. And who did we take off? We took off Sonny, Richarlison, and Maddison, right? In 10 minutes, you're not going to see the best of any player in 10 minutes. I thought, I mean, from what I saw, what's his name? Lo Celso running back, trying to help out the team defend. I saw Lo Celso pressing players as well, you know. But I've heard today that Lo Celso's crap and he's just looking to leave and blah, blah, blah. And I just thought to myself, but he tried. He came on and he tried. He had 10 minutes and he tried. Veliz tried to get him behind the defenders, was making runs.
Yeah, I saw him calling for the ball multiple times.
Didn't touch the ball. Didn't touch the ball. Made runs. And then Brennan Johnson, it did nothing at all in the 10 minutes that he came on. Nothing whatsoever. Now, it's difficult when you're bringing players that are coming back from injury, or you're bringing players on into a game that's a well-established game and they're only getting 10 minutes. Like I said, normally, in general, 8 out of 10 don't do anything special. 2 times out of 10, something might happen. With the players that we brought on yesterday, they weren't going to do nothing in the last 10 minutes. The game was won. We were trying to play keep ball the best we could, right? But at the end of the day, the hammering that some of these players are getting from the pub, I'm just like, really? I can't see where they're coming from. Do you know what I mean? You've got to give the players a chance. We're going to play, right? And we all know this. At the present moment in time, Postecoglou is going to pick 11 players. The only way that them 11 change, right, for me, is if Bentancur was free of injury, that's the change. Will be Bentancur. One of the midfielders will miss out for Bentancur. And it's likely to be Sarr.
Which is a bummer, because Sarr, I think, has looked a gem.
But I'm just saying, when the time's right that he's fully fit, Bentancur gets in the side, right? Out of the rest of the players that we've got, at this present moment in time, because the form is such, and we are so high up in the league, I can't see him making any further changes to personnel other than Bentancur. Bentancur's fully fit. Now, that means that, if people do get injuries or they do pick up knocks, then we're going to have to give other players. But the only players that we can give an opportunity to are those that are in the 25-man squad. So, I mean, I heard the argument, and I'll go back to the Arsenal game when we played Arsenal, and we did a show after the Arsenal game, and I turned around and said, God, if you offered me Jorginho or Havertz to come on as your substitute midfielders, and you offer me Højbjerg and Skip, I'm taking Højbjerg and Skip any day of the week.
Yeah.
So, I remember. At the end of the day, you can't pick and choose one day and then pick and choose something different the next day. You've got to be consistent in what you say. Now, for me, is there a big drop-off? I'll tell you if there's a big drop-off if the players start the game. But like I said, when you're bringing subs on, 80% of the time, they're not going to be doing much at all. So 80% of the time. It's only 20% of the time they will actually do something, and that's like anybody. So to me, at the end of the day, the players came on. Game was already won. We're trying to close the game down. So I wasn't expecting no great shakes. Now, the only thing I'd say is that when we came off the pitch yesterday, we had 96 hours there or thereabouts till we kick off again on Friday. Not much time. It's actually a 4-day turnaround, not 5 days. A 4-day turnaround. And with that in mind, with the players that came off yesterday, i.e. Sarr and Udogie, if they are carrying knocks and they're out of the game for Friday, then who do you bring in? Does Bissouma replace Sarr? Knowing that Bissouma will be coming back with 4 yellows. 1 yellow on Friday, he's out of the Chelsea game, right? Yeah, so he's either got to come back in the team and behave himself.
And he can do it. I think it's possible.
Yeah, and then at left back, do you play? If Udogie's not fit for Friday, do you play Emerson there like he came on yesterday?
Absolutely.
Well, that's what I mean. So they're the things that that people have got to think of. But at the end of the day, we can only play with what we've got. It's what I'm trying to say. So,
yeah, 100% agree. And like you were saying, Just the fact that I really liked what I saw from Lo Celso as well. The tracking back. I mean, he could have came on and I don't want to say sulked, but 10 minutes isn't an especially long time. I don't want to say it's like a insulting amount of time to get off the bench, but it's like bordering that in my opinion. And he came on and he didn't sulk. He didn't, you know what I mean? He could have kind of just stood around, but like you said, he was tracking back. He was trying to help the team. I think he I don't know. I think he knows he's going to be here. I think he knows he's going to be a rotation option, and so he was, trying to prove.
Sorry, can I just say to Alexander Hill, I would prefer. It goes without saying, we want the doggy to start, but what I'm saying is that it's 96 hours between coming off the pitch yesterday and playing again on Friday. It's only 96 hours, and if these people have been taken off because there was precautions because of their injuries that they were carrying. If they're not able to make Friday's match start, then we just got to be mindful of who we can bring in to replace them, is what I'm saying. Of course, we want a doggy and we want Sarr, and we want everybody to be fit and ready to play. But what I'm saying is that if the doggy's not fit for Friday, are we looking at replacing him with Emerson, which is what he did yesterday? Although I see Chris is saying that he'd rather have Chris Meta Football saying that he'd rather have Davies at left back before Emerson Royale versus Palace.
Wow, interesting. I love me some Ben Davies. So I was gonna say this. I think that with this squad, I think that we could put up to three substitutes in without seeing. I don't want to say a massive drop off in quality because I think there would be, but I think we could get away with up to three subs, or three non-starters in the squad, and I think we could still win against Palace.
Yeah, but when you're saying bring three in, right? Can you quantify what you're saying to me, Cole, so we all understand, right? Are you saying if we have to use three from the start, not substitutions, but from the start, you think we'll still be all right? Or are you talking about bringing three on at half time? Or are you talking about bringing three on with 10 minutes to go? Because bringing three on with 10 minutes to go, to me, there's not much you can do in 10 minutes. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. Especially when you're closing up shop and you've won the game, you're closing up shop. That's why the three that came on with the 10 minutes to go didn't look all that great yesterday, because we were shutting up shop. So,
exactly. Had we still been pushing, had we still had our foot on the gas, it would have been a totally different outing for those guys. But no, I'm saying from the start, I think that we have enough. I think we have enough strength in our first 11 that we could start three players that don't normally start, and I think we could still beat Palace this Friday. I think we could, and honestly, it could be any position as long as it's not both center backs. If it was both center backs, I would be very hesitant to say that we would definitely win. But I think you could take one of the center backs out. I think we could exchange a midfielder. I think, and then somebody in the front line. I think we would be totally fine in that scenario. People talk about how we don't have strength and depth, and I know that our bench is poor in some areas, but I don't think it's as bad as everybody else thinks it is. We're clearly not going to see that starting lineup we saw versus Fulham in the Cup. We're not going to see 10 changes to this team. There's not going to be any situation in which we have that many injuries. We've got, I just think we'll be fine until January. It's January that we have to then decide, what the plan is, what we're going to do.
Can we go back a step, back to the league table for the predictions? The reason why I say this is we've now got Wayne Bonner's here, Chris Peters is here, and Dry Roasted Peanuts. So they may have missed out on what I talked about earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me get that up. I got to move us 1 second. And
so Chris Peters, Wayne Bonner, and Dry Roasted Peanut, because you all took part of this on Friday. Right, so these are the results and the predictions that we all stated on Friday. Those in orange means that you got the correct team or the correct result, but not the correct prediction. So you get a point. If you got the bang on correct prediction, you get your green, you get 3 points. And anything in white means that you're way off the mark. So for the three of you that have just come on and just joined us, just wanted to share with you that these are the scores that people predicted, and the league table after week 1 looks like this. So for dry roasted peanut, you're 10th. You got 6 correct predictions in the sense of results that went the right way, but not the actual correct result. Chris Peters, you got 1 correct result. Wayne Bonner, you got 2 correct results, 4 correct predictions. So that shows you where we are in the league. We'll be doing this again on Friday, so this league will be rolling. But it's just to clarify that a correct score gets you 3 points. A prediction for the right score, whether it's home or away or the draw, gets you 1 point, but not the correct result, but gets you 1 point. And if you're off the mark, you just get 0. But after week 1, lads, this is what the league table looks like. So just wanted to let you lot know because you lot just come on. And for those that haven't taken part, we're doing this every Friday. This was the first week we did it. So it shows that the gap is 12 points. And therefore, anyone can join at any time of the season and you can still catch up. And just to show that we're not cheating, the 2 people at the bottom who are in the relegation places at the moment are Colin and myself. So me and Colin have got work to do for this Friday for our predictions.
We'll get it. We'll get back. Don't worry. But I'm ahead of you, Jose. I just wanted to kind of rub it in and say that I am ahead of you currently. But yeah, you might come back. You might come back and get me.
I've got long strides.
There you go. Exactly. And like you said, it's a long season. This Friday, speaking of this Friday, we got a special show for you guys. I don't want to give out too much information, but we'll have hopefully 2 new people joining in on the predictions because of some guests that we are hoping to have this Friday. So everybody be on the lookout for that. Friday should be a very special show. Yeah. So there's some more chats that I got to get through. We have not gotten through all the chats today. We're breaking our rules. Man, there's a lot, but yeah. So
a bunch of
yeah. Can you?
Yeah. We have got, when we were talking, we have got so many people that have come in.
Big up to everybody that's in. Please smash that like.
There we go. So you've got, let me just go up for it. Well, Adrian was saying that no team has been outstanding this season.
It kind of reminds me of the season when Leicester won the league, to be honest.
Alexander Hilton says he can see Bentancur being on the bench for Palace. I'd love it, but I don't think he will be, but I'd love it. I'd rather see Donnelly over Lo Celso now. Very busy, this person. Skip played really well.
I wasn't watching him closely enough, apparently.
Yes, Skippy will play better in Norwich level team. Daniel, he says the problem is the drop-off is in too many positions that are really important. Our goalkeeper, our centre-backs, our main forward, which is Sonny. The drop-off from Maddison to Lo Celso is not even close.
Fair.
Dry roasted peanut. When the doggy went off, our level dropped massively.
Which says something about that guy. He's just a kid, man, and he really is taken to the Premier League like a duck to water. It's wonderful to see.
And Alexander says if Lo Celso could look for a pass, Johnson would have got the goal when running in behind, but Lo Celso took ages to pass. Chris Football says inexistent
midfield
in the second half, so attack was hampered. Ellie, hi Ellie, well played. Well, we played.
I called her Kate earlier. Sorry about that, Ellie.
We played well in defence. Our back line is so strong. Nick Brown, I think Lo Celso just needs match game time and he will get a lot better.
I agree, Nick.
Adrian says Spurs have 23 points from 9 games. No Premier team has ever gained 23 points after 9 games, which then means that no Premiership team has ever gained 26 after 10 then. Because if you haven't gained 23 after 9, then no one's gained 26 after 10. So that's what we're chasing Friday.
Boom.
Nick Brown, did you see Romero lose his rag at Vinny and Van der Ven run up and calmed him down?
Yes, I loved it. I love this pairing. We have something really special, I think, in our center back pairing. But we'll talk more about that.
Alexander Hilton says, imagine spending 75 million for Havertz. I think this is when we're talking about the drop-offs. Dry roasted peanut, Bentancur for Sarr, and I'll switch Johnson for Richarlison, also in the starting lineup. Daniel, honest question, do you reckon Villa have a better bench than us? I would say they probably have. Then you've got Ellie's saying, yes, we got a bit sloppy at times. We covered most of our bad passing with great blocks and tenacity. We can't afford to be sloppy like that versus better teams, as they will punish us.
100%.
This is the comment that Chris Metaphor made earlier about Davis before Emerson. Don't play Emerson at left back. I know it limits us, in my opinion. Yeah, Alexander Hill says play a Dogie. Adrian Shank says Ange said Sarah and the doggy will be fit for Friday. Okay.
Lovely.
Good. Second half, if he was playing City, we would have been in trouble, is what Jim says.
Big time. But we also wouldn't have made the subs that we made. You know what I mean? So I feel like I think that we would have kept more of the starters on the pitch had we been playing City or a team of that ilk.
And then you've got Alexander Hill saying, play Højbjerg, we should be smashing Palace. Second half about City, Adrian has agreed, I fully agree. Ellie saying agreed with Stake, where Stake said play Højbjerg, we should be smashing Palace. Yeah. Daniel Lee is coming. Actually, when I look at Villa's bench, he ain't that strong, really, my bad. But he then comments that further down there. As soon as I see Longley was on the bench, I was like, nah.
I forgot that's where he ended up. That's hilarious. Yeah.
You got Wayne Bonner saying I forgot Davis just still at the club.
Big up to Wayne Bonner, by the way, one of our Patreon members. We've got some exciting stuff about that too coming up. We'll tell you. Don't let me forget.
Cherie, can Lo Celso play in the side role along with Madison? Well, Cherie, for that, there is a school of thought that we could have played for yesterday. I've seen that we were at home. We could have played two 10s and a 6 yesterday, with Højbjerg being the 6 and having 2 10s, but we didn't. We played a 1-10, 1-8, and 1-6 yesterday.
When Lo Celso came to Tottenham, he kind of had he was sort of an Eriksen 10 type player, but he also, I don't know, he played a slightly different role. I think he's closer to a Sarr type player, or he was when he first came. You know what I mean? In the way he plays for Argentina, he's not exactly a 10. He gets back, he does some defending, he does, you know what I mean? I don't know. He's an interesting player to me. When he first came in, I wasn't really sure what position he was going to play. You know what I mean? He doesn't just, I don't know. He hangs back towards the middle of the park, does some defending, does, you know, some of the dirty work. I don't know. I think Lo Celso is a different player to Madison. So yeah, I like that option too, Sheree. I think that he could play in the Sarr role.
Adrian is saying we've got players coming back in the Celso, Hill, Johnson and Sessegnon. Chris Peters!
Chris, what is up, my man?
And as far as I'm aware, the messages through the ether did get through. Chris Peters and Adrian did meet on Friday.
Yes, big love to you guys.
Hope and he's saying big up the chat. Dry roasted peanut. Palace away isn't usually straightforward, especially a night game. Their fans will be up for it.
True. And they've got some quick, pacey players too that could give us some problems.
Adrian is saying, Chris, hi, mate. Good to meet up yesterday. South London Massive are always up for it. Daniel Lee is coming with Crystal Palace without Eze and Elise and no Zaha anymore. I would be pissed off if we lose to these. We beat them away last season 4-0, didn't we?
Wait, they don't have Eze or Elise anymore?
No, they're out injured.
Oh, lovely. That's great.
Dry Roasted Peanut, I think, is talking about the predictions table that we got. It says it's a great concept, loves it. Ellie saying Basuma is king. Tot Spurs after this week was saying, keep showing me that table.
Give me some advice. We'll gamble next weekend and make some money, man.
Dry Roasted Peanut, if you get relegated, does someone else have to take over the show? Quite possibly. I don't anticipate for 1 second, I speak for myself here, that I'm going to be anywhere near the bottom after this. Well, I'm not going to be anywhere near the bottom as the season goes on. I think that this first week was a tester to get you to draw people in and for people to take part. Next week, the real Jose steps up.
He's going for the throat.
Yeah, the real Jose steps up. What are you saying, Colin?
I mean, yeah, I'm not getting relegated. Whoever gets relegated, they can't comment in the chat anymore. No, I'm just kidding. No. We'll think of some kind of a prize though for the winner. We got to do that.
Right. So Chris is saying, "Shame I missed the show. Hope the guests are top." I think.
Oh, he's talking about Friday. So I think he's talking about Friday. That's a bummer, but you can rewatch. That's a beautiful thing.
I don't know whether I've got to it, but I think I might have missed the. He did say that he was gonna. He's not around on Friday, but he would WhatsApp his scores for to be added.
Perfect.
Right. Ellie's saying Emerson Royale done great, a great block, and defensively he's fine. He has scored a goal for us too, but going forward he hasn't got a pass as a boy from Brazil. That's bloody baffling. I will come to that in a second. I'm going to come. Remind me Emerson Royale, and I'll come back to it.
Gotcha.
I had to dash home from the match, as was in the football terrace last night, and got Kate on as well because she's my girl. So I think they were both on last night. If anyone wants to watch that, the football terrace, watch.
I'll have to check it out. I've personally never seen that show. I
think Galatasaray and Bayern must have kicked off already in the Champions League because it's Alexander was saying it's a 1-1 at the moment.
Come on, Gala.
Adrian.
Spurs are in a title race. Yeah,
Adrian.
Absolutely. Yo, Adrian.
Alexander was saying Celso was a 10 at Betis. Chris Peters is saying Lo Celso and Johnson lost when they came on, couldn't get up to speed and didn't continue the hard press, which is what I said. 10 minutes, none of them could do anything. For the national team, Lo Celso plays off the left. Eddie's coming with the team collectively played well for most of the first half. Second half, we made quite a few floppy passes, but Højbjerg wasn't one of them. Yet he got stick. I just don't understand it. Nita Ross says, I ain't getting dumped out either. I think she's talking about the table.
The prediction table. Yeah.
Top Spurs, if you two are still bottom after next week, you're going down. And Top Spurs.
Won't happen. Don't worry. Todd Spurs, I'm coming for your spot, buddy.
Eddie's coming in saying, we are pioneers again. And Chris at Metal TV saying, send me the winner's medal to Spain as I only intend to win the Talk and Ball predictions contest.
Hey, we'll send it wherever it needs to go. We'll get a trophy or something. There needs to be a prize. Oh my gosh, I have a trophy. Okay, I have an old trophy here that I bought at a thrift store. It has a guy doing karate on it, and I absolutely think that should be our trophy for this. It's from a place called Bryce's Taekwondo. I've never even seen that place, but I found the trophy, and yeah, that can be our trophy for the.
So we are
this competition.
So for winning the predictions league, we are promoting violence.
Yes,
fantastic.
Taekwondo. It's Taekwondo. It's protection. It's protecting yourself. You know,
protecting violence. Protecting violence. Protective violence. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, do you want to? Should we move on and talk about the Patreon day?
Yeah. Let's do that. So, guys, we have a couple of Patreons of people who are nice enough to kind of sponsor the show and kind of help keep the lights on, as they say. That gets old saying that, but I always have to do this every time. But they help keep the lights on, and thank you guys. We truly appreciate you. And one thing I wanted to say to Chris Peters, Wayne Bonner, Soji Fagade, Maria Williams, is that you guys, we want to have a show where you guys can come and join, where our guests are you, the Patreon members. And so we got to come up with a day that works best for you guys and a time. Even we could push the time. It could be a Tuesday thing. I have a lot more freedom on Tuesdays, so it could be a Tuesday thing. There it goes again. I'm just gonna leave it. But there's an idea here that we've got, and we want to have a Patreon members show. So everybody, if you're here and you're a Patreon member, let us know what day and time works best for you. Obviously, you can WhatsApp us. You can get at us that way. But we would love to we would love to have that going. I think that would be a wonderful thing and a wonderful way to interact with our patrons. So yeah, please let us know what day and time works best for you. We promise to make it fun, have some silly stuff going on, and just a good time. Again, if you are interested in that Patreon, I'll put it up in the comments later. But there it is, patreon.com/talkingball. And there are 3 membership options. Just take a look if you want. And if you don't, totally cool. But guys that are Patreon members, we're going to have a show where you guys will be the guests, hopefully. and we're really looking forward to it. So can't wait to have you guys on. Jose, you got anything else to say about that? Did I miss anything?
No. For the Patreons, we just it's something we've been thinking about in the background that to show you our appreciation is we were looking to see. Obviously, Colin works every day of the week apart from Saturday and Tuesday are his days off at the moment. He's got a static rotor, so we were thinking of maybe doing a show on a Tuesday. We're not limited to starting it at 4:00 in the afternoon because of Colin's work. So therefore, I mean, today we started at 5:30 because we thought about it and we thought, you know what, we don't have to start bang on 4. We could start later. Tuesday works fine for me as well, although it's later for me in the evening. It works fine for me as well. And we were thinking that Tuesday might be the day that we do the Patreon day. So on a Tuesday, all our shows, whatever time we start, will be geared, and all the guests will be just the Patreon members. So it's like the Patreon members show, so to speak, and everything is led by our Patreon members. And we were looking to see whether Tuesday worked for everyone. But I'm sure there's no doubt that we'll be in touch with people in WhatsApp, and we're going to try and see if we can get us off the ground. So then, like that, we give back to the Patreon members for supporting us.
Absolutely. And you guys get to be the hosts. Jose and I'll take a back seat those days. Just don't get me kicked off of YouTube, please.
Yeah, that's another idea. We could always sit in the background and just let the show go with the 4 of them, couldn't we?
Yeah, we could be the guests. We could be the guests. They could. Yeah, I think that's an awesome idea. But guys, well, if you have any ideas or you can think of anything better, or just throw it in the chat. We'll read it out, of course, and we'd love to have your opinion. We'd love to have you guys taking part in the show with us. It's what truly makes it great.
And it's good afternoon, good evening to Dirty Sanchez and all.
Hey.
And we also have Senor Bobby K.
Bobby, hope you're not driving. I said no messaging and driving, Bobby. You gotta be safe. We care about you, man. Be careful.
You've got
what have we got here? I'm afraid.
Top Spurs. Look, Bobby K, big up, bro. Ask Jose to see the prediction table for the results.
Should I throw it up?
Yeah, Bobby K. Yeah, for Bobby K's purposes, here we go. We'll show you.
Boom. Share. Add the stage. I got to change one thing here. Boom. All right. So
that's the other way. It's the other page first.
Yep.
Right. So Bobby K, so you're aware, this is the predictions that were made on Friday by the 14 people that took part on Friday. We're hoping that more people take part, or because we're going to be doing this on a weekly basis, and there'll be a running league table. Bobby, you actually got off to a flying start. You were the only person who predicted the correct result on the first game, which was the 12:30 game English time, which is the early morning game on Saturday, or the early game on Saturday. And you picked 2-0. So you were flying. You were in the lead after the first predictions. So anyone in green is a correct prediction. So you got the actual correct result. Anyone in orange is the people that predicted the home, the away, or the draw, but didn't get the correct result. And anyone in white just got it completely wrong. And so it's 1 point to be for a correct prediction, not for a correct winner or a correct draw. And it's 3 points for the actual correct result. And therefore, the league table currently stands.
Sheet number 2.
So, Bobby K, you're currently lying in 7th. You've got 1 correct prediction, which is the Liverpool game. You've got 6 correct predictions, 1 correct result, 6 correct predictions. So, you're currently up there in 7th place. Just to show that we didn't do any skullduggery or anything, Colin and I are propping up the table. So at the moment, because there's only 14 teams, we think the first 4 are European material. So you've got champions, second, third, and fourth are European material, and the bottom 2 are relegation cannon fodder. And it currently is being held by Colin and myself. So
you will notice, so I have double the points of Jose. Just throwing that out there. Jose is quite a bit behind me when you take into consideration. I've doubled.
Bobby, all the predictions will be done on a Friday. We're going to do them on a show every Friday, like we did last week. It just so happens that we're doing them on Friday, and we kick off later on that evening against Palace. But it's every Friday we'll do the predictions, if that answers your question.
Yep. Boom. And we can't wait. And like I said, everybody, we're not going to say who just in case anything happens, but we've got an awesome show planned for Friday with some awesome guests. We've always got awesome guests, by the way. Our guests are always awesome. But some guests Friday that I don't think have been on the show before. So
shall we go to today's game?
Yes, we should. And I'm gonna play the intro just because everybody loves the intro. It's not quite the exact same game, but I think it deserves an intro. And you know what else I want to play? Because of the match and because of how well he did, you know what I'm gonna play. My team has got James Maddison. James Maddison is what we need. Whoa, thank God we got James Maddison. This kid plays ball like you would never believe. Whoa. Sorry, my cat wanted to be on the show.
Your cat's singing with you. You're doing
exactly.
A duet
exactly.
Tonight.
He's massive. I hurt my shoulder just moving him. Get off of here, Grizz. Stop it. Go. All right. Anyway, guys, so we have a wonderful game to play today. You might be aware of the internet's favorite Tottenham game show, Keeper West Ham. Coming up, we've got a very special edition of Keeper West Ham. It is very different. But again, I just want to play the intro. So here we go. Everyone, hello. Just wanted to say this is crazy, but I had to point it out. So at the end of that video, you saw my front porch directly across the street. This is a real big bummer, but it's crazy. I live in the US. Directly across the street, 2 people got murdered over the weekend. Isn't that insane? That 2 people, directly, I wasn't home. I was out of town, but directly across the street from me, 2 people just watch out. United States is a dangerous place. If you ever come here to visit, if you're not from here, be careful. Anyway, I just had to point that out. I could just see the house from the video. But guys, back to the fun stuff. No more death and destruction talk. We have this very special game today. And Jose, do you want to kind of explain to the people what's going to be happening?
Yeah, I mean, I think we spoke about this last week, that what we were going to do is we're going to switch up the way we played Keeper West Ham in order to keep things relevant and instead of pitching up and doing the same thing, we said we were going to change it up a bit. And I think last week we did managers on Friday. We did keep and centre West Ham two managers. So today we're going to do keep, bench, and centre West Ham. So we're doing 3 players at a time. So it's keep, bench, and centre West Ham. I did initially have for today 4 players. So it was going to be keep, bench, centre West Ham, and retire. But we dropped one of the players out and we've only kept 3 of them in there. So 1 is to keep, 1 is to bench, and 1 is to centre West Ham. However, we're not going to put any permutations on it. It's not who fits Ange's system. It's up to you. You make the decisions, right? Who would you keep? Who would you bench, put on the bench? And who would you send to West Ham from these 3 delightful players? I'd love to hear your reasons as to why, people.
And the reason that Jose chose these 3 players too was because 1, they're all defenders, but 2, they all played together.
And when I was going to do the bench, the keep, bench, centre West Ham, and retire, it would have included Danny Rose, but I took Danny Rose out of it and kept it at these 3.
So yeah, I'm very excited to hear what everybody has to say too. I think this is an especially tough one, but maybe I can think of one reason why it might be a little easier. One player for some people, obviously, but again, I'm excited to hear what everybody's got to say. I'll take it off for a second so you can see our beautiful faces, because we are beautiful. But again, guys, it's Walker, Toby, and Yan. I did not do that in order, so it's Toby, Yan, and Walker. Yeah, who do you keep? Who do you send to West Ham? And who is a bench player for you? Um, this is a tough one for me, even. But I know already what I'm gonna do. Jose, do you have yours figured out yet?
I sort of, but I was waiting to be led by the chat to see what the chat had to say, because I don't know what they're going to say, and from wherever the chat says, it might change.
Influence.
It might change my opinion on what I might think or not think.
Yeah, that's absolutely a good idea. Dry Roast Peanut wants to know if we can do a quiz show. Fastest comment gets the point. I think that's a good idea too. We might have to incorporate that into the show at a later date.
Could do, yeah, could do.
Definitely a good idea.
Anything that keeps the crowd happy.
Yeah, exactly. You guys are the boss. We are just here hanging out with you guys. Again, though, while you're here, while we're having fun, just hit the like if you haven't done so. I haven't seen how many we have today. It doesn't really matter, but just hit it if you're here. Please. And again, guys, I don't see any comments yet about
unless we must be missing a channel. There is no comment at all at the moment.
There's not. So, guys,
so now we've got one. Mr. Bonner is coming with one.
Wayne Bonner, Patreon member.
What does Mr. Bonner say?
Keep Yan, bench Toby, Walker to wet span.
I don't know. Is there any reason that he's done that? So Chris Peters has done exactly the same, hasn't it? No. Chris Peters, keep Toby, bench Yan, and send Walker to West Ham.
Okay.
Like I said, so both of them are sending Walker, but one's keeping Toby, one's keeping Yan, vice versa. But there's no reasons why and why not.
I will say that Wayne Bonner has gone with exactly the choices I was going to make.
So you've got Totspur saying keep Yan, sublime defender, bench Toby for squad depth, and send Walker right back. Are easy to find.
All right, that's pretty solid. That's a pretty solid answer.
Alexander Hilton says keep Yan, bench Walker, sell Toby. Chris Peters has also piped in saying Walker left us on his will. The other two loved us.
Boom, 100%.
Dry Roasted Peanut says I'm keeping Walker, I'm benching Yan, and I'm sending Toby to West Ham.
Wow, Dry Roast Peanut, I think you might be kind of alone in that one. I don't think
he may not be alone.
You never know. He
may not be alone.
You're almost saying that like you know something.
Right. Well, at the moment, all I can say is I've not been influenced by anybody at the moment. Keep Yan, bench Toby, send Walker to West Ham, as they were both more loyal and defensively better all round, is what Ellie says. Wayne Bonner's then coming in saying Yan and Toby were excellent partnership and solid, correct. And Dry Roasted Peanut says Walker is arguably the best right back in Premier history.
Dang. I've never really thought about it like that. But I guess, I guess you could make that argument. I hadn't really thought of a Dry Roast Peanut, but that's not a bad argument to make. I'd have trouble disagreeing.
Nita says Vertonghen, he was a leader at the back. Walker was a 100-meter runner on the wing. Toby to West Ham. Wow,
cool. Toby, I see. I'm keeping Yan purely for like nostalgia, I think, and because I love the guy. His sense of humor was funny in interviews. I thought he was hilarious. He was a great defender, so calm. Toby might have been a better defender than Yan. I don't know. Toby's positioning was elite. and his heading was sublime. I don't know how he could head the ball too and have his hair still look so good afterwards. It never messed his hair up ever. So that alone was cool. So, but for me, it's keep Yan, Toby on the bench, and then Walker can go F off to wherever he wants to go. But yeah, Ellie's got another one. Yeah, maybe, but Yan and Toby were better all around defensively. I don't know who she's referring to. Oh, Dry Roast Peanut, almost surely. And then Wayne Bonner says Romero and VDV are our new Yan and Toby. Hopefully, I sure hope so. You know, they're both youngins, could be here for a very long time if no one prizes them away. Anyway,
so I've not been swayed then.
So you still have your original plan.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear it because I think that you might go with something different than what I did.
I'm keeping Walker.
What? Okay.
Okay, so think of it this way. Who's our blanket at the back at the moment?
Blanket at the back. By that you mean
person who does all the covering for us at the back.
Van de Ven.
There you go. He's our blanket. When Walker played with Tottenham, Walker was the blanket. Walker was the one around the cover, and Walker was the blanket. Walker is the blanket for Man City as well. Because no one has got his pace, and even he's 33 now. No one's got his pace at all, and he's the blanket. So for that purpose, I would keep Walker because of the blanket. Then, to me, just to even things out, because you need the yin and yang, a right and left balance, I would have to bench and keep Jan as my bench player because of having the left and right. But then Toby, I'd have to send. Toby's the one I'm sending to West Ham. But defensively, you're correct. He was elite level defender. His positioning was always 110% spot on. Alderweireld never got caught out. Never ever got caught out. So at the end of the day, for me, it has to be. If I have to let him go, it has to be him. Now, we didn't do the keep, bench, send to West Ham and retire because had we included Rose there, because they're the four that played together, and that was a great defensive partnership of four players that we had at the club at the time. But I think because of what happened at the club, I think people would not look past sending Rose to retirement, where I think Rose deserves a lot more praise than what he actually gets from the fan base. Because I think that Rose just spoke his mind. That's all it was. He just spoke his mind. And at the end of the day, what are you going to silence people? What, we're living in a communist society? You're going to silence people all the time? They're not allowed to speak freely. So therefore, I took Rose out of the equation this time round. But it'd be interesting in the future show if we did put Rose in to see what people come back with.
Yeah, especially now with your argument for him, and hopefully people keep that in mind if we do ever include Rose in future editions of the game. Neither though said, not saying Toby was a bad player, all about the strengths of the other players. Yeah, 100%, 100%. Toby, far from a bad player, but I can see. I mean, there are no right or wrong answers here. I want to throw that out there. There are no wrong answers. Ellie, though, saying that Toby read the game better and his long balls were out on a sixpence. But Yan was a driving force out of defense and was a better defensive baller. That is true. Yan got forward so well. He was always, and I think we see Romero doing that now. You know, I mean, he actually there was a pretty sweet chance created yesterday from a Romero run, from what I remember. He took it up the right side and then laid off a nice through ball. It was actually, did he play the through ball or I don't, anyway. There was a nice chance created from a Romero run. And I think Romero is sort of the Toby, or not the Toby, but the Vertonghen of our, two current center backs. What would you say if you had to compare our two center backs with Toby and Yan? Who's more Toby? Who's more Yan? I almost think Van de Ven's Yan in this partnership.
Well, he's left footed.
Yeah, exactly.
He's left footed. He's gonna remind you. The only thing is that Jan never had the frightening pace that Van de Ven's got.
Exactly, Van de Ven, and they went on and on about it in the commentary on the match. But I haven't seen Van de Ven lose a foot race this season, and they were saying they hadn't either. And pretty wild when you think about that. he's lightning quick. I have no idea how he's as quick as he is with how big he is, and I wonder.
Is he that big though? Because I looked at him the other day and I thought to myself, he ain't that big. He ain't bulky or anything at all. He's tall.
No,
He's
yeah,
6'3", but to me, look like a beanpole. You see his legs. His legs don't look massive at all. You match him up against another defender, they got tree trunks for legs. He hasn't got tree trunk for legs. So you just think to yourself, how can someone who's running on spindle sticks be that quick?
Yeah, exactly. I watched the thing yesterday, and I don't know why I was watching it. It was talking about UFC, but how there's different kinds of muscle fiber, and it's all genetic. You know what I mean? It's all genetics. But certain muscle fibers have like a faster like twitch reflex, but they don't. I don't know, but you don't have as much mass. That must be the kind of guy he is. You know what I mean? He doesn't have tons of muscle mass, but the muscle fiber that he does have, seems. I don't know. There was stuff about the amount of oxygen that each of them held. I don't know. It was scientific. I barely paid attention, but I do think Van de Ven's something special. The fact that he is as fast as he is. I wonder, is he a good enough defender that if something happened and he lost some pace, would he still be a good defender? Does he rely completely on his pace? Is that something that we need to worry about? But again, I don't know. Not so
what,
sure.
Van de Ven can defend though. He's a good defender, but yeah, a lot of it is about his pace because his positioning is because of his pace.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So and he takes risks because of his pace as well, because he knows that he takes that risk, he can get back. So he plays to his strength. Van de Ven plays to his strength. As simple as that. But then again, so does Romero. Romero was a Rolls Royce yesterday. Romero was
there was a slide tackle that happened. Right, he
was cream yesterday. Proper cream.
Absolutely. But yeah, so Ellie said that Toby and his long balls, we take those for granted. For a while, I think Dyer was trying to emulate that. And was trying to be that guy in the squad. But yeah, we basically had a quarterback in the back dictating, that could dictate play in Toby, and we do miss that, I think, in the squad. Dry Roast Peanut though says my guy Jose, because you guys had the same answers. Chris Peters doesn't understand how you could let Toby go. And Chris, I kind of agree with you here. And Tosper says, now I know why you're bottom of the league, laughing, crying. Love it. Ellie says Toby didn't need pace as a blanket. Jose, he read the game and anticipation was fantastic. Preferred Yan as he was super Yan Vertonghen and was class on legs, and the celebration too, right? I mean, just that celebration alone was. The
thing is, I remember watching Tottenham, and I'll tell you what, and I weren't blind to the fact I saw Walker making recovery runs for when he played at Tottenham, and so therefore he must have been playing with another three at the back, because we always played a back four. So if he's making recovery runs, then there was three other defenders with him, but he was still making the recovery runs. So and he does it for Man City, he does it for England. The guy, whether we like it or not, has gone on to become an even better player than what he was for us. And now we're talking and waxing lyrical about when we had Walker and Rose playing as our fullbacks. We waxed lyrical of what a partnership they were and how we were blessed. And we've never replaced them, is what we've been saying for many, many years. Equally, the same as we're saying that we had Toby and Yan at the back as our centre backs, and when we lost them, equally we've been waiting to replace them for years as well. So let's be mindful of that. If we're going to go on the one hand and say, yeah, we had two great fullbacks, under the Pochettino era, we had two great fullbacks, and then all of a sudden dismiss him, that doesn't sound right. That sounds like double standards to me. But there we go.
No, I get it. You're making good points. For sure. Chris Peters makes a good point too. He remembers before Toby, Yan made a lot of mistakes, especially against Man City. Yeah, we do forget. I feel like Yan was a good but not great defender until Toby came in. Would you?
Top Spurs is really giving it to me, isn't he? I can't wait. I tell you what, Top Spurs, my boy.
Yeah. Just wait.
Let's wait and see. The season's a long one, young Padawan learner.
So Yan is still going good now. Says Chris Peters. still in Turkey, or is he back in some Belgium or something? I know
think
that.
Vertonghen's gone to Anderlecht.
Okay.
And Toby's gone to. Toby's gone to. They're playing tomorrow night. They're in the Champions League at the moment, but they're doing really badly.
I'm looking at that.
Toby wears a 23. He's captain for them.
He plays Royal Antwerp.
Yeah, Royal Antwerp, because they're in the Champions League. So yeah, he's playing tomorrow night, and Jan's gone back to Vertonghen.
Wait, you said Jan's gone back to Vertonghen?
Yes, sorry.
Anderlecht, you're right.
Anderlecht, sorry, he's gone back to Anderlecht.
Jan's gone back to Vertonghen. He changed his last name back. He had changed it, but he's back to Vertonghen. Yeah. No. Hey, it is all good. Everybody. So that is the new look version of Keeper West Ham, but we'll probably change it almost every single episode. Like I said, just to keep it fresh, just to keep things exciting. But yeah. So I just want to go back to the match yesterday. Do you think that I know that everyone's talking about how we need defensive cover and how in January defense should be where we kind of focus and look to strengthen defensive midfield. But yesterday I saw us create about 9 chances and finish 2 of them. Do you think we need somebody on the squad that can put those away? Is our finishing going to be our undoing? We can clearly create the chances, but
Chris Peters, I've just seen your comment come out. If you think that was odd, do you want to see the others I've got lined up, mate? All I've got to say.
Look at this one from him too. Hold on, I got a special banner for you, and it is where did it go? I guess I deleted it, but it said, "Why is Dyer so good?" But I'll take it off. I won't put it up there for you, Chris, but it was a joke anyway.
Right, so Chris, off the top of my head, just talking and discussing what to do about the show, I came up with 3 defenders, and I came up with 3 midfielders, and I came up with 3 strikers. Straight away off the bat, and I said to Colin, we can only do 1 each show, and we'll do 1 each show. But the ones that I've done, seriously, mate, if you think this one's hard, do you want to see the others that I've already set up? They are the business.
You're gonna hate us. You're gonna hate us. Oh yeah, and Jose, you wanted to talk about Emerson?
Yes, sorry. Yeah, you're right, Dry Spinner. I saw Ellie's comment earlier. Let me see if I can bring it back up. It was a comment she made earlier. That's what made me think about it. I'm just searching through. Where would you put it? Right, that's the question she's asked us. I've highlighted a question she's asked us as well, which you haven't answered yet.
I think I need to change it to talking ball with Jose and call because it rhymes better. I'll change that for the next episode.
Right, so you've got Ellie saying Emerson Royale done great block defense. He's fine. Has scored a goal for us too, but going forward, he hasn't got a pass as a boy from Brazil. That's bloody baffling. Yeah. So what I was going to say, Dry Recipe, that is, and I actually thought about this last night when I watched the game. I saw some things that he did yesterday, and I saw the things that Richarlison was doing in the second half, and I was thinking to myself, are these 2 players really Brazilian? Because with Brazilian players, you're talking about flair, technique, and I can remember. I mean, I don't know how old you are, Dry Spinner, but I can remember the players going back to Zico, Socrates, Jairzinho, Pele, Bebeto, your Ronaldos, Romarios, Ronaldinho. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And I'm thinking to myself, sublime silk players with skill, panache. And I'm just thinking to myself, are these 2 players? And it was things that they'd done in the match last night. And I was like, and I remember in the match yesterday thinking, are they really Brazilian? So going on what Ellie said earlier, I'm just like, yeah, I'm doubting myself now if they're really Brazilian or not.
We'll have to check their passports for sure. I'll get you on that, Jose.
Yeah, I think they've come from somewhere like Azerbaijan or somewhere like. And I'm not trying to be derogatory to them, but they've come from somewhere like that, and they must have been born in different countries and got Brazilian nationalisation, because they're not 2 of the boys that were born near Copacabana Beach playing beach football, playing football on the sandy beaches and honing their skills like previous Brazilian players have done in the past. So that was my thought about it. The other thing is I've got a starred question. It's Ellie, and I don't know if she's still with us, but she asked this question earlier. So the question for us was, do you think Hill should be given a run out versus Palace?
Is it bad that I say no?
And why? Well, go on. You're saying no, and why?
Well, I mean,
to answer Ellie's question.
We're top of the league. We have a chance to, we play first. We have a chance to kind of put pressure on the other teams with another win. I just think it's an unnecessary risk if everybody's fit. We play again after Palace. We have quite a break then, right? We don't play until I actually think is it the next Friday?
No, the Monday week.
Wow.
So we've got 10 days. We're at home to Chelsea.
So okay, yeah, that's gonna be a big match. But there's absolutely no reason to rest anybody. I think if they don't need it right now. Like I said, we're at the top of the league. We can't afford to drop points. I don't think that Hill being in the squad would necessarily make us drop points, but I'd rather have Richarlison, I think, personally. Jose?
When you're saying, when Ellie's saying, should he be given a run out? Because it has not been quantified, does the run out mean, does he start from the start? Does he come off the bench? Now, in that case, the answer, if I can give a plain answer, I think, yeah, he should get given a run out. He should get given some minutes. I think, but the thing is, though, is Crystal Palace, like it or not, Crystal Palace are a very physical team. And if we're talking about physicality, then Richarlison is going to get the nod anyway, regardless. And so will Kulusevski, if we're looking at physicality.
My God, Kulusevski. I meant to talk about him in the match, so don't let me forget Kulusevski.
Yeah, okay. So him and Kulu will probably get the nod because of their physicality. They haven't got the finesse without Elise, Eze. So Haas no longer there. So they've lost that finesse that they used to have. They had all these players for them last season. We beat them 4-0 away last season. It was a freak result because it was never a 4-0 game. But, at the end of the day, we'll have to wait and see. But I don't think there's no reason why Palace should give us any problems whatsoever.
Yeah, agreed. And you're right. Maybe he can get a run out. The last 10 minutes of the match, like we've been doing with Philly and the other boys. But I definitely don't think he should start at all. Maybe I don't know. When you're top of the league, do you have the luxury of doing that, or do you have to play your strongest team every match? You know what I mean? I don't think that this isn't a spot we find ourselves in too often. And I think we have to take full advantage of it. And so I think that playing anything less.
But you pick your best team, Colin, but you pick your best team based on the opponents you're going to play against. And at the end of the day, if you need someone if you're going to play against power, which I think we are Friday, because I think Crystal Palace are a powerful team. They're no nonsense side. They're a powerful team. And if you're going to play up against that, then you're going to want players that have got power in your team as well. However, there'll be games that you're playing against players where it won't be about power. And there's going to be fittings or shoe-ins, and it's horses for courses. And he'll pick the best side. But the question was, would I like to see him get a run out? And I'm saying yes. But because it's not quantified, the question, then it can mean anything.
How much of a run out would you give him?
It's open-ended. The question is so open-ended that I'm just going to say yes.
But how much personally?
Even if you've got 1 minute, it's
okay. Okay.
You see what I mean? It's an open-ended question. It's not been closed off.
So if I wanted to close it off though, and I said, how many minutes would you give him?
That would all be dependent on how the game's going, Colin.
Exactly. If we're up 4-0, then throw him in.
If we're up 4-0 and he's a sub, throw him on at half time. But then that means we're already 4-0 up at half time.
It could happen if we just put away some of those chances. If we could just finish, like I said, we set up at least 4 chances by halftime in the Fulham match.
And what Chris Peters is saying is exactly what I said earlier. I realised after last night's game, it's just under 96 hours before we kick off again, and it's a short. This will be at the moment, it's the one and only game where we've got a short break like this. I mean, I don't know what the fixture lists are like for Christmas, because they're looking to change the Christmas, because now they're saying that they were going to put a game on Christmas Eve, which has not happened in years. But they said they were going to put one match on Christmas Eve. So the only day that there's no football throughout Christmas will be on Christmas Day. So, yeah.
So, but we have to think about this, Chris. We're not playing European football. A lot of other teams are. So it does stink, but I think that, it's something that a lot of teams are facing.
Spurs, once they're all match fit, then Ange can choose with a bit more freedom of choice. Correct?
Yeah, absolutely, Spurs.
Alex Silton saying, if Palace plays a mid-block, I would go with Johnson. If it's a low block, I would go with Richarlison. The only thing at the moment that we can tell by, sorry, Ellie just put a comment in. Ellie, we've answered your question. I don't know whether you was with us, but we answered your question about Brian Hill. I hope you caught it.
Because let us know if you were here for that.
Because it was an open-ended question that you gave, Ellie. I've said that, yeah, I'd like to see him being given minutes, but because you didn't quantify it as a starter, as a sub or anything like that, I just said yes, because to me, it's just, a minute. Given minutes can be a minute, can be 45, can be 90. So I just said yes.
I said no.
Yes, Colin said no. Colin said bring back Dempsey.
God no. Those were dark times when that was the most exciting thing. Totally different era, totally different football. I'm so glad that things are the way they are now. Oh my God. But yeah, so I do want to talk a little bit about Kulu. I think Kulu and Jim said this earlier, and if I can find the comment, I'll throw it up. But dang, there's a lot of comments, so never mind.
Jim, Jim said a comment about Kulu. Is that what I'm looking for? Yeah.
Yeah, and it was towards the very beginning of the show.
Okay, you carry on.
But he said Kulu gets a lot of flack, that he's going to prove in the show, that their show tomorrow, that he doesn't deserve it. If Kulu could add finishing to his game, which I think he can, and we've seen him, we've seen him score goals in the past. I think Kulu could be an absolute monster. He just has this way of wriggling through defenders. I mean, there could be two defenders on him, and somehow he's going to toe poke the ball away, wrestle past these guys, and get to it. I don't know if he's just freakishly strong. I just wanted to basically ask you, he's not fast. I know he's not Tom Huddleston slow, but he's not a fast player. Do you think it just must be footballing IQ and strength that gets him through? He just is able to. I don't know. Are you amazed sometimes when he's got the ball? There's two defenders on him, and somehow he ends up with it. It doesn't ever look pretty either. That's the one thing I've noticed, is that nothing he does looks beautiful. He's not like a traditional like flair player where he can do, but he's just a grafter and just makes it happen. I don't know. I just feel like Jim's 100% right. Kulu gets a bad rap, and we need to kind of put some respect on his name. I think he's got a really important role in the squad, and I kind of just wanted to hear your opinion on Kulu as well, Jose.
Like I said earlier, for me, Kulu yesterday, I didn't think they played the ball enough to him, is what I said yesterday. But in saying that, although I don't think they played the ball enough to him yesterday, they played the ball up to him. We didn't use him as much as what we normally do as an outlet, because yesterday I don't know why we didn't use him enough. But like I said, Anthony Robinson, who is a player that I rate as a left back in the Premier League, I rate Anthony Robinson. I think Anthony Robinson's quick and he's a very, very good footballer. And I really do rate him. Yesterday, though, I saw him sent, as I said, he was sent down to Mississippi 3 times and he was told, what canoe and what paddle would you like? He left him for dead 3 times. He mugged him off. He turned him inside out 3 times quite comfortably. And so for me, Kulu does an important job at the moment. We're evolving as a team. Now, Kulu may need to evolve his game in order to stay in the side in the future once we start getting rid of players and bringing players in and we start having more squad depth. He may need to change the way he plays. However, is Kulu playing the same way at the moment that he played when he first came for the first 6 months that he came in? Is he playing differently?
Not as well. But I also think that's because he's not he's a known quantity now. I think defenders, have watched enough tape, know what he's going to do. Uh, so I think that's part of his problem. But I mean, what he's doing is the same, I guess, but it's not as productive. You know what I mean? We're not seeing the goals. We're not seeing the assists. But yeah, I mean, I don't think his play has changed all that much. Do you?
I think he plays differently to when he played. Yeah, I think he plays differently to when he played when he first came to us in that January. So the first 6 months, the season that we finished fourth, when him and Benny came in January, I think he played differently to the way he's playing at the moment. Now, the way he's playing at the moment, he's obviously being coached to play that way. He's playing that way because the manager's asking him to do so. Because otherwise, if he wasn't playing the way the manager wanted him to play, he wouldn't be in that first 11. So it's a case of evolvement. And for me, it's as each transfer window comes in and you start shaping a squad, molding a squad, if he's still there, then he's going to have to evolve and play differently, or be shown or taught how to play differently to fit whatever the team's needs are at the time. At the moment, he fits what Ange wants him to do. And whether we like it or not, he is doing what Ange is telling him to do. The other thing I will say is that for me, I'm not going to beat up on Kulu because otherwise I'm backtracking on myself. So I'm going to keep it consistent. I've said all along that Kulu, up until yesterday, I've always said Kulu is the hard-working team player and he's there for the team. He puts the team above himself all the time. I'm not saying it was any different yesterday. It's just that he didn't get enough of the ball for me yesterday. I didn't think that I played him in. He didn't get as many touches as what I normally see him do. But yeah. I remember him roasting Andy Robertson, 3 times clearly yesterday. He made him look like a schoolboy. Made him look like he made schoolboy error in marking him what he did. And he made him look stupid 3 times. But at the end of the day, he's doing what he's been coached to do.
Boom. 100%. He even had opportunities to score. Like I said, we're not seeing him take those chances, which is a problem. Todd Spurs Dempsey. We won against United at Old Trafford because of Dempsey. Put some respect on Clint Dempsey, please.
So Chris Peters and Adrian seem to have had a 33-hour conversation.
I'm sure they did. I'm kind of surprised that you guys are still talking.
Yeah, I think they are.
With Kulu, he passes when he is supposed to shoot and shoots when he is supposed to pass. Spurs ladies had a fantastic victory, 4-2 away with Aston Villa. Martha Thomas.
I've got the women's football show on record, so I have recorded it. I haven't watched it as yet, but it was on last night, I think, or the night before. Whatever it was, I've got it recorded on Sky, so I'll be watching that.
Boom! Wow.
How many times did Kulu pass the balls forwards or into the box? I don't think he had enough of the ball yesterday, Todd Spurs. In other games, I think he's had the ball far more. Yesterday, we didn't seem to use him as much. And not because we didn't want to, because we had the possession. We had the ball, but I just don't think we used him enough yesterday for some reason, where we have in other games. I think we went and used Richie a lot more, tried to use Richie a lot more than what we did Kulu. Nita, Hill is a runner and Ant has a knife for them type of plays. I would like to see him get a run out soon based on no new players coming in until January. Fair comment.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Ellie says she was cooking at the time that we were talking.
There's a kitchen joke in there to be made, but I'll let Adrian make it.
I don't know if Adrian's still here, but yeah, it is Adrian's one. Top Spurs, Kulu's a stat padder for me. We need someone with more pace and creativity. Ellie's telling us that everybody is fed now.
Except me. You didn't make me any food, Ellie. But that's okay. I forgive you.
Don't know if you remember Spurred On back 8 years ago with Barnaby Slater. Great Spurs show. He's back, so please go find his YouTube channel.
Everybody do it. Chris Peters, Patreon member. He knows his stuff. If he says it's good, it's good. So, guys, after this show, of course, go check it out.
And Nita Ross says, who fed Ellie? Ellie says, Chris, Adrian, love him. He's such a great Spurs fan without the historian accolades too.
Boom.
My family who still live with me, hubby and one of my 3 daughters, Angela, lives with us. So that's who Nita are as asking Ellie who she fed. So
yum.
We're now to date with
comments.
We're now up to date with everyone's food patterns.
I'm getting ready to eat lunch whenever the show's over, and I don't know what I'm gonna have yet. Everyone, pasta sounds good. I kind of want to just.
I had it already. My wife made pasta today.
Did she? Sounds great. I want to load up on some carbs, go out maybe for exercise a bit. Anyway, guys,
I made my return last night.
Yeah, how'd that go? How'd your match go?
Drew 3-3. We were 3-0 down at half time. We came back to 3-0.
You always do that. Why do you guys always go down in the first half? You gotta stop that. You'd win games if you didn't go down.
One assist. I haven't played for 2 weeks. My feet have been playing up, and now I've got appointments at the end of this week. But I came through it last night, absolutely knackered today. Now my feet feel like concrete blocks today. But yeah, I was glad that I got it done. Got 14,000 steps in yesterday, which I'm well happy about.
Yeah,
I've got me 10,000 in today. So, but in pain. So, but still got it done, and just need to just get
be
back
careful.
On the bandwagon.
Yeah, don't permanently hurt those dogs. You'll need those walking around. But I'm glad you got the assist. Kind of describe it to us. So you were where were you at on the pitch? You just play a nice little square ball over to the striker, or
no? I was up front. The ball came to me. I had my back to goal. I had one person on my arse, the defender, and I had one closing me in from the left-hand side. So one on the back already, one's coming to close in. And as I've trapped the ball, and as I've trapped the ball, I've then side-heeled it across the box. It's gone past the player that's coming to close me down, as well as the one on my back. It's gone past him, straight to our player who's come running on. And as he's come running on, the goalkeeper's come out to try and stop him. And as he's done that, he's chipped the ball over his head.
No way.
It was a superb goal. Superb goal.
It sounds superb. What number was that out of the 3?
That was the third one.
Nice. So
another time, I didn't touch the ball, but what I did is I went running, and the ball was coming, and it was coming down my side. And what I did, as it was coming down my side, and the player was travelling with the ball, I then ran across the box, across the edge of the box, towards the other side of the penalty box, and I took 2 players with me, which meant that the player travelling with the ball was then able to pass it off to our player, who then scored. And the player who scored for us, he actually got a hat-trick yesterday in the second half for us. I called he supports Brighton. His name's Kieran, and I called him Kieran Welbeck. There's better players I could have chosen from Brighton, but I just called him Welbeck, and I don't think he was amused by it.
I would say I don't hope he doesn't have Welbeck's injury record.
No, I don't think he was amused by it, but that's what I was calling him, Welbeck, when he scored his every time he scored. I said Welbeck. But,
I love it. I love it.
But yeah,
that's awesome.
They've got better players, but there we go.
Hey, well, congrats on I almost said on the win, but on the draw. And I'm glad you were able to get involved. That's awesome. Always feels good.
And sending some scouts. Yeah, right. Cool. I'm playing tomorrow night. I've put my name down, so I'm down for tomorrow night as well. Busy house, Ellie. Chris Peters, I walked around central London yesterday all day with my sister-in-law and wife before the game. Got to the stadium, and all the adrenaline kicked in to drink and sing. Left at 11 p.m.
Yes, lovely. Chris sent me some awesome videos yesterday, by the way.
I thought you were going to put one in.
I did. I put one of them on here, just like it was before the match, team walking out. I got that one on.
I thought Chris had sent some of himself at the ground singing and drinking.
Oh, he might have some that he could send me, Chris. If you have any, let me know.
We want to see your singing and drinking antics, Chris.
This is my cat Grizz. He likes being on the show, apparently. But guys, we've talked about a lot today. We've covered, the match, the win yesterday, the fact that we have a great goalkeeper finally in Vicario. we're keeping clean sheets. We're looking good. We clean sheets haven't really been our thing this season. So it was nice for Vicario to get one for himself yesterday and for the team. We'll be back tomorrow, guys. I think we're about to close up shop.
We're back at 4 tomorrow.
Yep, back at 4 tomorrow.
4 o'clock.
Yep, and got some awesome stuff planned. I actually think I'm going to do a little bit of a breakdown and have some stills from the match today. I basically just want to show you guys how good Kulu is. I feel like no one puts enough respect on Kulu's name. So tomorrow I'll be doing a little piece on Kulu. We'll play another even tougher version of Keeper West Ham, and we'll get the chat involved. If you have any interest in being on the show tomorrow and you're in the chat today, drop us a message, WhatsApp, something like that. We would love to have you on. This show is we're pretty open to anybody coming on as long as you keep your clothes on. We are good. You can even be a fan. You can even be a fan of another team. We don't even mind. Just be respectful, be nice, and keep your clothes on. Jose, do you have anything to add?
Before we take covered, I pretty much covered it all. Just looking at the Champions League scores. Galatasaray still 1-1 with Bayern, and Inter Milan are 2-1 up against Salzburg.
Did Kane score the Bayern goal? Do you know?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you because at the moment, it's just a website that's just giving me the scores. I'm not looked to see who scored goals or anything.
Yeah, like I'll find it real quick.
Someone put 1-1 earlier in the chat, and they didn't say anything about Kane.
So Kingsley Coman, and I didn't. Yeah. I forgot that Mauro Icardi even played for Gala, but he scored a penalty in the 30th minute. So.
Does it say what the lineup is? Because I bet Ndombele is still not in the 11.
Let me check here. It does say him, but
is Davidson playing?
Let me see.
Because Davidson started every game from.
Yeah, Davinson Sanchez is playing, and you are right about.
But Mr. Burger King's on the subs bench again.
He is. Yep, you're correct.
Cool.
But yeah, Sanchez is playing. That's awesome. I'm really glad he's found a club where he's getting playing time. I mean, it was clear that there's a player there. Maybe not at the level that we needed, but he's clearly a good player. I mean, he's playing in the Champions League against Bayern right now.
He's an international. So
yeah, exactly.
System that we play doesn't suit him and hadn't suited him. He looked like he was Calamity Jane in the system that we were playing before. Now we've changed the system. He probably plays better now that we've changed the system.
You're probably right. But yeah, Bayern's got Kane leading the line, Koeman on the right, Sané on the left, Kimmich in the middle with Lamir. I've never heard of him. But yeah, Bayern's got a pretty good team. I forgot all about Kingsley Coman. Remember when he was like the next big thing? Like he was, supposed to be one of the best wingers in the game. I'm not sure if he ever quite lived up to that, but interesting. We're in the 75th minute, you guys. Before we head out, everybody, what do you think?
So thank God we have James Madison right, Colin. So he's talking about the playing avid, but then he's coming and said Bayern have just scored again.
No way.
And Chris Peters just sent you
Harry
the end
Kane.
of the game.
It was Harry Kane too that scored. That's
okay. He's just sent you the end of the game, Chris Peters. And
yes, thank you, Chris. I'll get that up.
Ziyech is coming on at the moment for Galatasaray.
Ziyech, wow, Ziyech went to Galatasaray. That's a weird one to me too. I wonder is that a loan or is he actually
Zaha's at Galatasaray as well? No, he signed with Chelsea, didn't he? Didn't get his move to Saudi and went to Gala instead.
Interesting, very interesting. I think he's too good of a player for Galatasaray, but obviously they're in the Champions League doing just fine. So Bayern equals Kane FC. Love it. But yeah, so guys, that is the show for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. Again, it was just Jose and I today, and it was lovely. And if you, though, would like to join in on any of the shows, we are pretty flexible, pretty open with that. So let us know. And I think I'm going to play us out with a little bit of James Madison. What do you think? Because honestly, guys, he pulled the strings yesterday. We looked like a totally different team without him on the pitch. Real quick, just some Madison appreciation. He's awesome. We're very lucky to have him for the price that we got. It was an absolute steal. Yeah, love the guy. Love the guy. Don't have enough good things to say about him. Mature, seems to have a great partnership with Sonny. Really excited to see him grow with us in the team. He's another player that is on the youngish side. So yeah, exciting times ahead, everybody. Exciting times ahead.
And thank you everyone for joining us today. And like we said, we'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. English time.
Yes.
PM English time. So we look forward to seeing you all tomorrow, and we shall play out with our
My team has got James Madison. James Madison is what we need. Whoa, thank God we got James Madison. This kid plays ball like you would never believe. Whoa.